And we want to give thanks to the Most High God for His mercies endureth forever. I hope I spoke with the part well. Welcome back from the break. You're still watching the Entertainment Review Tuesday edition of the show. As always, on Tuesdays, we do Gospel Tuesdays. And we've got our first guest joining us this afternoon. If you watch the video, you see the energy coming in there from a gentleman who's had lots of experience when it comes to music. Reading about him, the man they keep for a very, very long time. Daniel NETTEY is our guest this afternoon. We're talking about his music, everything he's been working on, and some of the things that you didn't know, including being part of Stars of the Future in 2008. Yes. So let's get into it. But we're live on Facebook with the Metro TV Ghana and DSTV channel 277. Daniel, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Oh, you're looking dapper though.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like the kaftan.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that we cannot see your feet. It's wearing like a white sneaker down there. But you're welcome to the table of life. Myself and the ladies, we're excited to have you on here to talk about Yeshua.
Yeah.
But before we talk Yeshua, Stars for the Future. I was excited to hear that you went there. I mean, what was the motive? Because I've heard people say that, for gospel musicians, most of them do not think that, I should go for this competition, like I should be part. Back then, when you got into it, was like, had you started as a ministry, as a minister, that you're spreading God's word, and then you got into it?
Yeah, I started that already. I got the opportunity. I had come back from Nairobi, Kenya, where I schooled. I did my bachelor's in computer science, but I wasn't a Christian university, so we were doing more of ministry work.
Okay.
And when I got back, I have these colleagues, and they were like, "Hey, why don't you just give this a try? It could be something you would like." I'm like, okay. So I actually went the year before, which was 2007, and I made the cut, but I was dropped. And then I went again the next year just to see if I would get in.
Okay.
And then by God's grace, I got the opportunity, and I was the second runner-up. But the mentality was not bad. It was just give it a try and see what would happen. I also remember comments coming out like, what does a pastor have to do on the stage?
That was what I was going to come to. That because we know for some platforms you'll be rehearsing, songs, performing songs that are not always secular like that. And so for someone who had started ministry like that and get into that space, I'm just thinking about all the lambasting, the text you'll be getting. Hey, so full.
But the good thing is that I learned a lot from that place. Actually, I learned. Most of my music life was shaped from that side. So I learned quite a lot too from there. Secondly, I didn't think I sang any song that could date myself because most of the songs we were given or we chose to sing were supposed to be either inspirational music, you could call it secular or whatever, but it's not something that could also hit or hurt anybody. So it didn't feel that bad. I will tell you another story later when...
Oh, I need a story. You have to say it.
Okay, so one of my major mentors, the late Danny NETTEY, I remember one of the days I was going to do one of the love songs, and I didn't know he was around. I was told he was looking for me. Then George, a.k.a. Abuaji, he brought him to the back, and he was like, he wanted to talk to me. So when he came, he was like, I've seen what you're doing, but I think you can do more. What song are you singing? I'm like, this love song. I was like, oh, then you communicate the love. I'm like, hey, what did they say? What did they say? But I learned a lesson from there that it's not about what you, it's a communication, what audience you're handling or what you're giving to them. And don't hurt anybody. Don't hit anybody. Don't be profane. Just keep to your good works. That's
fantastic. The mentality that you went in there. The other thing also is you moving across Africa. I mean, it's not just about Ghana for you. Like you said, you schooled in Kenya. You've been part of bands here and the music director for a number of churches across Africa. How has that experience helped shape your music style?
I think I don't have a music style. I pick it up from inspiration. So like Yeshua is more of a reggae song now, but Oda is more of a ballad. We have other songs that are out there. But then again, I think having the experience of meeting other people, especially in Kenya, you meet South Africans, you meet Congolese, you meet that mentality of this kind of music is not the only music you should be going for. It's built in you, and I learned a lot from that opportunity that I got. Yeah.
Okay. That's good to hear.
Quite interesting. But I mean, you also going to that competition, did that add up to your career in any way? Did you learn something there that has shaped you? Or did they even give you some eyes and people, getting to know you through that competition?
Yeah, people got to know me. At least I was shocked that I even came second runner up in the show. It shaped me. At first, I could say my dressing was bad. And no, you could testify that I learned a lot from that place. The grooming alone also brings out your personality, and then it gives you some mentality of how to handle yourself if you want to be a star, sort of. Naturally, after that, I decided, let me just go down a bit and do church stuff. So I didn't really get myself out there. After a while, I realized, okay, I can't hold it anymore. The songs are coming. It's loads of things happening.
Yeah.
And decided, let's go for it.
We've got to go for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, looking at the genre of gospel music that you do, I mean, you do contemporary gospel. Some will say urban gospel because, I mean, reggae and all that. But the church, some part of the church are yet to accept that these kinds of songs really is gospel because they are used to the traditional kind of gospel music. And as a pastor, what do you make of people who think that reggae...
Just call me a pastor.
I mean, yeah, man of God. Doing the work of God and all that. What do you think of people that, have this idea that when you do reggae song cannot be gospel, hip hop cannot be gospel and all that?
I think I keep saying this, that every song has a message and the message has its own audience. So personally, when I get a song, I get the kind of genre it has to go. So sometimes even when I'm working with producers, I'm a bit difficult, or I'm like, no, it has to still go this way because that is how it was communicated to me.
Okay.
And I feel like it should go that way. So even this reggae song, this Yeshua song, they gave me a beat. I'm like, this is too local. I don't like it like that. I want it more of let's if we're doing reggae, let's do reggae.
Yeah.
Let's not do anything, because I believe that there's a message in every song for somebody.
Yeah.
So the audience of the song, once you get it and you send it to them, they would embrace it and your message is sent. And the gospel is not for just that. Actually, it's not for those in the church, it's for those out there, because we are spreading the good news. So that's why sometimes you have to have these things in place.
Right. So in other words, you have to conform to the things of the world in order to get people of the world to the church. Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm not saying conform to them. I'm saying that you have to have the message in a language they would understand. So if I come and I'm speaking Ga to somebody who speaks Twi, they won't be able to understand it. So I have to bring it to a communication form where you can understand and you can identify with the message I'm bringing, and then that would also communicate with you.
Okay.
So far, with your gospel journey, how has it been? Has it been rosy, or have you faced some challenges?
I have faced a lot of challenges. But the good thing is that in all these things, I've learned to give thanks, as the Bible said. Most of these songs were actually written during my challenging moments. 2016 was not a very good year for me. But then again, I was encouraged within my heart that there are things that you have to face to grow, to learn, to mature. So these situations built me up. They brought me to a level where I felt, oh, okay, now I have a reason to still thank God, because I have lost everything, but I've not lost life. And having that journey through and coming here now, sitting down here with life, oh man, I'm still grateful.
And when it comes to production-wise, do you have sponsorship, or you're doing everything solely on your own?
Currently, I'm doing everything solely on my own.
That definitely must be very, very difficult. But as people get onto the internet and type Daniel NETTEY, most of you see Daniel NETTEY also pop up. And when you look at the late Daniel NETTEY that is highly revered in our gospel space, when it is a
That's my cousin. So
and it explains it.
and also my mentor. So
Explains it.
when I started my journey, my first song was "I Need You," that I wanted to produce. That was the same year he actually passed. When the song was sent to me, I was about to send it to him. I got a call from a younger niece who told me, "Oh, have you heard the story?" I'm like, but I just spoke with him a few weeks ago, and I told him I'm bringing a song for him to critique, so I know what to do. But it was heartbreaking. But God called him, so we can't fight over it.
And the resemblance is really striking.
The head, it's in the blood.
Is it first cousin or second cousin?
It's distant cousin.
Distant.
Yeah, very
Cousin,
distant.
yeah.
But still, the resemblance is
Yeah,
there.
the resemblance is really there. All right, so
But
okay,
before we talk
come
about
on.
that, Danny, I mean, when people come here, I just love to, apart from music, how do they inspire people? Because I asked on the back of this generation of believers, gospel believers, do face trials and tribulations. And sometimes they get stuck and they decide to not move forward, shift, or do something else. With your music that you are doing, it has the background of not this whole traditional music. It has the background to communicate. Even people who listen to reggae or other genres can also tap into it. Apart from doing what you do, how else or what means or which medium do you use to inspire people, let them understand their faith and what exactly the gospel of God is about?
So I think the gospel itself, ministration is not about the things we say, it's about the personality yourself. So, like she just called me a pastor and I'm not a pastor yet, but it's part of the life you lead and how you walk with God. I mostly testify not about the things I've seen about people, but about the things that God has done.
Okay,
with
so
me.
Danny, because you're talking to her, I would want you to
Shift the microphone
shift
a
the
bit.
microphone
Oh,
little
okay,
bit, so
Okay.
yeah.
So yeah, like I said, mostly my life has been a spectacle of the testimony of the things I do or I say. So once I am able to share with you these things, you could understand that it's not only about what I've heard people say or what people are doing, but I'm also an epitome of the grace that God has also provided, and that's what it's all about. Yeah.
But in recent times, when you meet, let me say, the Gen Zs, the millennials, these are new believers. How our parents, try to instill the gospel in us. The world has changed, it has evolved. And so there are different ways by which the young ones consume the gospel. When you meet the younger ones and interact with them, like what's the mindset, what sort of conversation, what are they thinking of? Are you able to get to them to understand? And then whatever you say, it's impactful.
I did say this earlier on, that communication is key. Understanding the language of the people would also allow you to communicate with them. Mostly I find myself within
The younger ones.
The younger ones.
Okay.
And that's because I also like to be, I like
Yeah,
to
you
feel
need to be a youngin.
It makes me feel like I'm very young. But yes, I'm very young. So having that opportunity, they want to sit around you, they want to know what is going on. They even sometimes want to find out what you are doing, how you also made it, or how you've been so quiet, saying I have 25 years of experience, and yet you're not in a rush to do anything.
Exactly.
So these are some of the things that you set as precedents, and they feel like, oh, let's get to learn more about what is going on, and it helps you inspire them.
Okay, now let's move on and talk about Yeshua. Yeshua. Tell us the birth of it. You mentioned that there's a message behind every song. Tell us the message for this one.
All right, so I did mention that 2016 I had an experience. Now, during that experience, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 16 to 18 downwards, it says, pray without ceasing, but in everything what we should give thanks. So I felt that I never lost hope. I felt there was life, everything was there, but I definitely needed to stick to my grounds and be grateful for even having that life that I had, and everything will be all right. The message is that he took the pain, he worked on it, even when I didn't think of the opportunities that and the gates that would open. That was when he actually did open the gates without my knowledge. Like people just saying, "Hey, we have heard of you. We've seen what is going on with you. Just move from this location to that location, and we will take care of you." I got taken care of by somebody for 6 whole months without paying a dime, and it's for free. So these are some of the things that you will know that gratitude is very, very important. Having that attitude of gratitude can actually unlock a lot of things.
So Yeshua is on all platforms in the video as we play beautiful visuals there. And as a top IT person as you are, a big one. I don't see.
How did you see?
I said that we had to, but it's good to know that there's something on the side also that can help the music bit, because the music sometimes how it gets. But as we wrap it up, any final message to any first time person watching Daniel NETTEY, the message that you want to send across to them with Yeshua, any final words and wrap it up?
I think the message is simple. In everything, give thanks. You do not know who wants to be in the position that you are now. Yeah. You may be complaining, but someone is actually praying to be at the level in which you are. And then also, when all is lost, just pray.
Yeah.
Just pray, trust in God, and everything would come. Especially when you believe and you trust in Him, He would put everything in place.
Okay.
I'm just an epitome of that grace.
Fantastic. So let's support Daniel. Go to YouTube, go to all the platforms. The videos there, the audios are there on all the platforms, and let's support him. This week we are pushing, and every time we are pushing Ghanaians, let's push our Ghanaian artists. So let's support them. Let's stream their songs. Very important on all platforms. Daniel NETTEY, right?
Yeah. All platforms, all digital platforms, over 200 platforms.
Yeah, Daniel NETTEY. All right, Daniel, thank you so much for coming through this afternoon. We wish you the very best, and we're always here to help you out.
I appreciate all of you. Thank you, ladies. And thank you.
All right. Yes. So that was Daniel NETTEY talked about Yeshua and everything that he's been working on.